Bedlam, the final edition of Bedlam in Stillwater. I have, where's my press? It's sat in a box. Boom Pickens 2015. I went there when I had an Oklahoma future. It was amazing atmosphere. This is the last one, which is kind of sad. One of the things that is going to come of conference realignment that I don't think any college football fan likes. But Oklahoma is a 5.5, 6-point favorite here, over under 61. So Oklahoma's been exposed. They played cupcakes early in the season. They got that Texas win where they were pretty fortunate. Red River rivalry. These things are always going to be wild. But their defense has been exposed ever since that game. Right outside the top 100 in a number of metrics over the past few weeks. Danny Stutzman might be out too. He's big.
Huge.
Is an ankle injury. This Oklahoma State team is, and look, the Oklahoma running game's not there. There's offensive line issues. The wide receivers aren't that talented, and they are missing Andrew Anthony who was their leading receiver. He's out for the season. So Gabriel's been great, but this team is not as good as some people thought. And they were exposed the past 2 weeks. Could have lost to UCF, lost to Kansas. I show some value in Oklahoma. Now this is under a touchdown, but I'm not betting Oklahoma because I don't know. I just can't catch up to Oklahoma State. So right. Oklahoma State, this is one of the most shocking turnarounds I've seen in college football. This is a team that early in the season they got their doors blown off at home to South Alabama. They were in a fight with Central Arkansas at home. And then they come out of the bye, and their offense has been a juggernaut. And what has happened? I'll explain to people because it was very confusing to me. So number one, they stuck with one quarterback. They were going with three: Gundy's son, Rangel, and then Alan Bowman. They stuck with Alan Bowman. Consistency, right? Consistency, reps, running with the ones. And then they also started feeding Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon, over the last 5 games, Gordon's averaged 8 yards per carry, rushed for nearly 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns on the ground. Against West Virginia and Cincinnati over the past 2 games, 282 and 271 with 6 touchdowns. So Ollie Gordon, early in the season, they weren't giving him the ball. He's one of the best running backs in the country. What has that done? And by the way, it's not just all Ollie Gordon. They, got Jake Springfield, was one of their best offensive linemen, back from injury at right tackle. That enabled them to move Dalton Cooper from right tackle to left tackle. He's a transfer from Texas State, with really good transfer. Played 4 years there. Always played left tackle. Was struggling at right tackle. Able to move him to left tackle. What did that do? That enabled them to kick Cole Birmingham into left guard from left tackle. He's better suited there. This offensive line now, everyone's in place. It's all fifth-year seniors. It's massive. And early in the season, it was a mess. Offensive line set. Give the ball to Ollie Gordon. He's taking advantage. And then because of that, because this run game is just a machine, it doesn't matter. Teams are loading the box, trying to stop it. They can't. What has that done? Play action. So wide receivers aren't great, but now it's setting up the play action pass game, easy throws for Bowman, and the whole offensive operation has done a complete 180. The Oklahoma State defense is okay. Colin Oliver and Nicholas Martin are one of the best linebacker duos in the Big 12. There's some good cover corners, but the defensive line and the safeties aren't great, so you can run on them a bit. You can hit some explosive plays through the air. They've been lucky with turnovers on defense the past few weeks. Like, everyone's turning it over. They're getting defensive special team scores. But I also have to give credit to Brian Nardo, who people clowned Gundy for hiring him. He's made some great halftime adjustments, did it against Cincy last week again. So the question is, can Oklahoma take advantage of this defense? I think they should be able to score here. They're going to go fast. I think they're going to be a little bit more aggressive after last week. But their defense, especially if Sussman's not there, I don't know. This Oklahoma State team's rolling. I can't back Oklahoma State because my numbers can't get there. And this is the last bedlam too. But I also can't back Oklahoma because this Oklahoma State team, it's very hard for me to go from where I was to like adjusting them up enough to get here. But they just might be way better than I've been adjusting for. What do you see here in the final edition of Bedlam?
I agree. I mean, I power rated 7, so you're kind of taking a leap of faith if you want to back the Cowboys. But if you're backing Oklahoma, how comfortable do you feel? Probably not that comfortable. And some things that you didn't mention, cash your tickets on media day. But when I was at media day, Gundy got up in front of everybody and talked about, and all the questions were on Nardo, right? You went and got a guy from Gannon University he's like, hey, he knows the scheme that we run. He runs the same thing. I did my homework. I know what we're getting, quit asking me about it. And, I mean, that was all the talk. And then when he came off the side, and Brett and I got him off to the side and started talking to him one-on-one, all my questions were on the run concepts and the blocking concepts, going from gap, zone. Oh yeah, the offensive line is completely changing the way that we block. When you go and look at what Oklahoma State has done on their offense from a rushing perspective, something just clicked around game 4, game 5. It finally clicked, and now they're just hammering people from rushing the ball. But I'm going to start.
Yeah, they went to Gordon. The offensive line got healthy. Everyone went to natural position. They changed the scheme, more zone-based, and then it took off. And then that enabled the passing attack, even with bad receivers, just because it's play action, right? Yeah. So everything changed.
And so for that reason, that's one of those things where, I think, what does everyone like to call me on Twitter and our voicemails, nerd? I have to step out of my Excel sheet and my numbers and realize that there's a lot of things going on here that you can't quantify with the Cowboys. I'll say a couple things about the Oklahoma offense. Tubby Walker is expected to return to the Sooners backfield. I don't know if that's going to help them run the ball. I mean, OU created just a single rushing gain over 40 yards the entire season. There is no explosiveness out of this run game for the Sooners whatsoever. And Dylan Gabriel's 1-to-1 ratio of big time throws, turnover worthy plays, not going to win the Heisman. 85th in pass explosives. Andrew Anthony's hurt. I get it, but these problems were going on way before that. So, when you go to the other side of the ball, when you look at Oklahoma State's offense, there's a couple of key things that you need to keep in mind. Because yes, I have put a bet in the app on Oklahoma State, but it comes with a contingency. Ollie Gordon accounts for 40% of this Oklahoma State offense. That's insane for a running back. For a quarterback, fine. For a running back, it's pretty insane. The only handicap that should be in this game is, can you stop Ollie Gordon? So when you look at that, he averages 4.7 yards after contact. After contact, he's gaining another 5 yards. He's top 10 nationally in missed tackles forced at 43. So he does this all the time. Now, what do you need? You need a defense, doesn't miss tackles, doesn't have broken tackles. The first guy to get to him is the one that tackles him. Well, you know who that guy is on the defense? Danny Stutzman. And when he went out of that game against Kansas, I knew I was screwed. I knew that I was going to get a lot of tweets from you. I was going to get a lot of texts from pissed off people, like everything. Like I knew that Oklahoma's in deep trouble without Stutzman, because this goes back to what I've been saying for years with Venables. He has to have a middle linebacker that's a captain that goes out on the field, relays the plays, lines up the defense, calls out the audibles. Like, it is an assistant coach and Venables defense that plays middle linebacker. Stutzman is that guy. If he's not playing, which right now at this second as we're recording, game time decision, it means everything in the world to me in this bet. If he's playing, you might see me get out of it. If he's not, we're riding the Cowboys here. But one thing I'll leave in this, you want to know how important Danny Stutzman is? He has an 8.5% missed tackle rate, right? I'm not going to say whether that's good or bad. It's actually average. It's all right. 8.5% missed tackle rate. If you look at all the leading tacklers out of the Oklahoma defense, linebacker Jaron Kanik, safety Billy Bowman Jr., a couple of others, they have missed more than 25% of tackles. It is unbelievable how bad this defense is at missed tackles. The one who's not, Danny Stutzman. To me, Danny Stutzman is the most important linebacker to a point spread in recent history that I could ever think of. So, yeah, the bet's in on Oklahoma State. Stutzman means everything in the world to whether I let this ride.
Yeah, he just makes so many plays to them behind the line of scrimmage, too. He's all over the field.